want, on behalf of management and staff of Media One Center, for say a big thank you to we viewership in 2019. In my view, I'm sure it's a very fulfilling year, 2019, and we duly welcome the various comments and contributions. Viewership them they throw as they follow the program. To me, it is a very wonderful contribution, and we look forward to another quite fulfilling year 2020. I equally want to say a big thank you to Dr. Walter Nekundayo Gilpin for being extremely wonderful in providing an insightful delivery into key economic concepts ranging from the balance of payment, international trade, why businesses fail, financial development, the macro and microeconomic policies, you name them. The 2020 edition views of the Economic Forum will be very much inclusive. We not go only center within the confines of the studio, but we get for ensure say we expand for reach out the lay public, the SMEs, petty traders, hawkers, you name them. We equally get for capture the views of expert opinion and add to the entire discussion for make them extremely, pleasantry. On this particular note, one welcome guest now at the studio, when Dr. Ekunda Walter Gilpin, and wish you all a very happy new year, and also to the guest, Dr. Gilpin, happy new year.
Happy New Year to you.
Great. Briefly, before I come to the next segment, what are the account of your feedback we get in relation to the Economic Forum?
Well, I must say the feedback very, 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 very positive. It's very heartening for not to say people they watch the program, then they think through, then they rationalize, then they learn a lot, and then they make them also obvious. I mean, like making write text messages in, they can sending comments through people so people can call. And I think say it's quite don't become very, very, very pivotal on the Sunday evening of a lot of people. This is not a channel we decide for utilize for make let people able for look at things from a different perspective. Remember some time back we talk say people need to understand some concepts and issues then things them will affect their lives then. So we begin for take this program also as a social kind of responsibility job. And we go on for give people them education, we go on for enlighten people them, and more so we make people them begin for realize say there's a lot more than what I understand when they go around me. And even though me not a specialist in this area, I go able for learn from the Economic Forum. And that happen a lot. So I think it's really good, you get the layman, you get the man where they do business on the street, you get the student, you get the civil servant, you get the private sector person, you get the housewife, you get the person where they no more for leg, they go drag. All man they watch this program. So in essence, the program will become a real buzzword and a household name. I think it is a good thing on a Sunday evening for people there.
In many of the series of revelations that we get, especially when you be handled why businesses fail. I get one my brother, a military officer. He meets me one day and I say, Raman, he said that program we a doctor do. He said I go one meet doctor from Eka. I want to start a business. He said I don't want to jump into this business. I want actually talk to around from Eka, get advice how to take the approach. Wait for me a clear indication that the program in formats, it speak well to the minds of so many people.
Oh yes, indeed it does. And I also believe for say anybody will get anything will like for discuss about the program, they can get in touch with Star TV and whatever advice we will for give or help we will for give, or if you want to drill down a bit more on particular concepts that we'll talk about, I think we'll be happy for help the public with that.
Okay. Well, Fabulem, today we are back the 5th of January 2020 with the first edition of this program in 2020 when our Economic Forum. Today we look specifically at a very important topic where they deal with financial development and financial inclusion. But before that, we will take what you white man call a recapitulation of what will happen in the series of programs that will be hold. Now we just get a kind of flashback before ever we can jump into the main topic today, with our financial development and financial inclusion. Let's take a look.
we look at institutions and their role in economic development. And we try to see how institutions they affect growth and also how they can bring possible stagnation to growth. For example, if chaos then at the institution, if the property rights do not exist properly, if law and order no day, then people do not learn anything much either from society or from school, then you get chaos in society. So look at institutions and say, what are these institutions? So what I'll do, I'll quickly just tell Fumble and back within our institutions, okay? And then Tiana rules, they govern human interaction. And they govern the way how they relate to each other, the way how they talk to each other, the way how they get with social mobility and social cohesion. And in a way, na organized form of society, whether it happens by default or whether it just happens by chance, whether it's the statute or legislation, all it has to come under institutions. So you find out, so you get religious institution, you get professional organization, you also get social organization, and all entities and institutions that we come out from basic tenets of society for make a social order. You even get an academic institution when like at the schools them. So also, institution can be an established law or practice. For example, the institution of marriage. We don't marry, don't get a certificate, then it's an idea within an institution. All right, and the laws them or the expectations them with an institution they go get for give society. Now you get for falla. Until not all 10 people like you follow all the laws and the rules of the institutions them. But when you don't do that, society they beat you in or the law go bet you.
Right. So I've been looking at some quotations every day we say almost 8 out of every 10 business them they can fail within the first 18 months. Okay? And furthermore also tell we say, according to statistics, the Small Business Administration, 50% of businesses then fail within the first year, and even inside the United States. And 95% fail within the first 5 years. That's serious. So we get for say, okay, what thing we can look about this and how we could solve them, because as Sierra Leoneans, as I said before, we want the business then for work well, for that will trigger economic growth, and that will also trigger self-employment, that will trigger things that will happen inside the economy for the economy work well and going forward. But I've asked for what is a business system, okay? And how we go identify a business system. Well, business system really now the methodical procedure or process, okay, where would they use for deliver a particular specific type of good or service. Okay, now this business system here, so they chart all steps where they involve for let you start your business, let you build your business, let you create a channel for deliver your business to the public. All right, so the business system, now the procedure or process where they use for deliver you goods or service to the public or to customers. All right, and the system forget all the necessary steps you need to follow to deliver this thing to the public in a good and productive way.
Okay. Now, and study after study just should say, them they contribute a lot more in the maintenance of the home, in some instances, than the man them. The man them when they go out, we go work come, and the woman get for manage the house. So even I get some graph now, I will show the amount of role we they play in the family, the man, the male and the female. So woman they get a lot more for do for maintain the house. So therefore, they get this desire for go out and spend money, go out and earn money for bring back for look after the picking them, for bring back for create a home where will be conducive for land and for living. The master they bring your own come, but the human they realize say maybe it's not enough. So let me go out there and engage in other economic activities. Them we'll go for earn something and come for take care of the home. You just tell like where you get the hen, all the chicken and they around them. They go, they catch, and then let the picking for eat. So woman they get a tendency they for go out there and earn an income, and that is why you find out say a lot of women they inside the trading aspect, inside the informal sector. I get some charts that I go show you for establish that.
Then so many, if you put it all together, and contribution to the economy, a bigger pass the big enterprise them. If you put it all together, you see even Nigeria, when Nigeria became the largest economy by GDP, estimations in Africa. Now when they put in the entertainment sector, then it grew. So they're small scale there, so they're very, very important. But normally, they're not going to get credit history, they're not getting enough money for startup, they struggle, but they put a lot of commitment to waiting than they do. All right? And then they face more severe constraints to growth than large companies because they lack critical size, resulting in reduced access to market, skills, and capital. So we see, say,
the debate don't go on as to who that will benefit from then small business there. So the SMEs will benefit from themselves or the banks are able to help them for benefit. Sometime back in Turkey, then we get a big debate, then get a conference, okay, and Italia and Turkey, and then we ask the question, then say, who that go win the battle for the SMEs? Traditional banks or then fintech startup? Fintech are they use technology for push the
Financial
banking
technology.
business. Yes. And they argue, say, this place go do for we all, we go able for work together, or the banks then for take the actual, should I say, pivot position. But what we ask is, as a bank, we able for provide the services for small people them. As a fintech or as a microfinance institution, now no role for take that market today. But when you look largely around, you see say a lot they will we can do together, the banks and the SMEs. You ask the question, yeah go do? You say yes, yeah go do for we all. The SMEs are growing faster. Okay, the microfinance institutions are getting more aggressive to get funds to the micro and small scale enterprise them. And as this goes on, we realize say now so the economy can grow and the banks therefore change the way in which they do their business. There's what they call bank apathy. And this bank apathy also, they show say a lot of focus, but they can to small enterprise them. More the focus look for big enterprise them. So a big chunk of the market is missing. I get on the screen a simple chart where they show how the SMEs they lag behind in the adoption of more sophisticated digital technology. So when the bank they look, they're able to say, I want a record of the history of this enterprise. The bigger companies go down the longer. They get more better statistics.
Concept. When you would tell the people that waiting into things I mean, when we talk of financial development, waiting really will talk about. When we talk of financial inclusion, waiting will refer to.
Okay, well, financial development really look at basically how the financial system they evolve and how they operate. So we look at ideally we look at financial markets. What are financial markets and the role financial markets may play in overall financial development. Then we will go further on to look at how a financial system they develop. What is the framework where they actually govern or where they guide this financial development process. It's interesting because most times we can see things then we can just take them for granted. We pass by, you know, and keep my money inside my own inside box. I don't need the banking system. So they're financially excluded voluntarily. Okay, they can come, but they don't want to come. So they don't want to pay tax. They don't let people incident transactions them, or they look at the main bureaucracy or the time-consuming thing where they take in a bank. We're going to queue, cyber paper. They don't want all in there, so they exclude themselves. Other people in there because they're not able to reach outside them facility they are today, so they're excluded out of no fault of their own, involuntarily excluded. They are then there something they didn't have some part of the country we don't get access to banking services them, you know, access to banking applications them, or anything with the financial sector get for offer them. The one they excluded involuntarily. So ideally, that's not the big picture of financial development and financial inclusion. What we're going to do today, we'll look at things like financial markets, we will look at things like crowdfunding, we will look at the functions of the financial markets, and also we will look at key players inside the financial system.
Okay. Doc, this for the benefit of our insights, this gets anything for do when you talk of financial market, financial development, and financial inclusion, stroke exclusion. It gets anything for do with financial deepening?
Oh yeah. Financial deepening itself now how you they make let the services then become more and more prevalent. Mm-hmm. Okay, the further you go inside the system, the wider you make the access points, the more products that we give to the public, you know, and then the way how also they help for improve like things then through multiplier, money multiplier, through credit creation, also through velocity, other things they help for deepening the financial system. So yes, financial inclusion is a subset of financial deepening. Because the more facilities them we give out to the general public, the more banking services they provide to them, the more they come on board, the deeper they will become inside the actual process of financial management. And similarly, the banks will get a wider role for play in overall economic growth and development.
If you can put in the simplest term when you talk of crowdfunding, what's it mean?
Well, crowdfunding, you know, it began to happen more or less in the early 2000s when people need for raise money. And you can get a lot of restrictions on raising money. We want for raise money, you get regulators and will they come in and step in, and also you will raise the money, you get for report back again to the one who give you the money, what do you do with it, how you spend them. So a quicker way be necessary for raise funds. So ideally, normally you can start off with the Americans them or then Scandinavians then you can start a whole system where they know say this we need money for this also. Alright, and probably the money we need a small money. And maybe we're not able for account to amount with this money. Someone want to give money, but you not get beaucoup money. You want to give $1. Someone want to give $10. Someone want to give $100,000. So you make a room for all the people there. So then we go to what we call Web 2.0, and that is social media. So through Web 2.0, they're able for reach out to many more people. Then they open up their websites, them portals, like Fund Me, or Please Fund Me, or fundme.com. And there you can go through PayPal or through any other money transaction portal, and you put your credit card. You say, I'm giving you $1 for this. I'll give 10 leons for this. I'll give 1,000 leons for this. I'll give 10,000 leons for this. Then small money then the crowd they put on. Okay, so peer-to-peer crowdfunding, or you also get what they call equity crowdfunding. All right, and then when they also they use that money they for charity purpose. Sometimes let's say they feel say they want for raise funds for help the victims them waving any mudslide. Alright, now they don't have to go through the whole formal bank it is. Anybody whatever you get bring a car. So normally you get for send dash card. Now like dash card,
Okay.
What we do dash card first send.
Yes.
Where you do dash card, you will receive the money, you not get for explain to now put this on some money how you spend that. Not account to them. You spend that for the purpose. How they're gonna say don't spend them, you go send out flyers, you go send out pictures, you go show the event on television, you go able for send out maybe social media thank yous to people then, Facebook, evidence, and then they will still say you don't do it. Alright? And so that money they become very, very useful. So what happened over time? They begin to do crowdfunding except for equity. Okay, if I say, okay, I have to raise money, so I go begin, let this business grow. They also go to crowdfunding. Normally it's done online. Okay, before when they do dash card, that's a very good way for compare crowd. So anyway, we don't do before, we call it dash card. You buy block if like maybe school want for build a building, and when they can buy blocks, they sign. Say I have for buy 5 blocks, you sign for the dash card. You pick your crown to school, you give the dash card to in principal, you give the money to in principal. That way they aim for implement that particular project day. But now mostly it's online through portals like fundme.com, gofundme.com, and there they go now. You put your credit card, you put the money where you want for fund, then use the money for do something big. That one there is crowdfunding.
So how we will appreciate this discussion at the studio today with a graphic illustration of what we really talk about?
Well, by taking a step by step.
Okay.
So we will begin now. For now, we just have a look at particular illustrations on the big screen.
Okay, we can go.
All right. So first of all, as we know, the main theme today now on financial inclusion and financial development. Okay, and this is now on the economic forum. Ideally, we don't talk within our financial development, we don't talk within our financial inclusion, taking a cursory glance at it. But the first thing I want to look at now the financial markets. What is the financial market? Because the thing is that they therefore develop the financial system. Ideally, that's on outside businessman they go, then they go able for put money down, they raise some money, they're able for buy and sell shares, buy and sell this particular investment what they get within each other. Alright, so in the global world, we know what they call the Wall Street. Okay, now they like the stock exchange and them brokers and them dealers and when they're able for buy and sell shares. So now the place outside traders, then they buy the assets then. And also they sell the assets then. Okay, so when you see this financial market, you know say inside the financial market, you get forget first of all the different types. They get forget the participants in the financial market. They get forget the framework where they govern the financial market. Now they would look at the critical terminology, financial development. Okay, what's in there within the financial market. So now they everything they begin from move small.
It not appear like a loose union at all?
No, not at all. It in fact in some areas then it is overly regulated. It is really looked at because why? The people money they. And if that particular system they shake, the whole economy can shake. Because now like the backbone of the economy. Now something like way you look at the banking sector, look at the capital markets. They're always tied to what's called the sovereign. So in other words, we go to what we call the bank sovereign interdependence. They relate to each other. They live by each other. They breathe by each other. So if the banking sector collapse or the financial sector collapse, then the economy itself basically go downstream. And inside Sierra Leone, the financial system, you get a lot of players where in a way they're not even recognized. Their contribution to GDP are not really recognized. You see, as I say, you can get like the entertainment industry. We then buy and sell the music then. We then play, we then do the drama then. A lot of money comes in that. If then they grow and it is now sold, like what happened in Nigeria, if it is sold internationally, it will trigger a massive boost to the economy. If it's recorded in the GDP, we go foresee how the GDP grow. Then money will do the small trading on the street. This is a very informal economy, Sierra Leone. Also I go then they sell. Also I go then they ride Okada. Also I go, you get people that do small business then. How much of the one they really record their transactions then? And they formally document it and see their contribution towards GDP. No, it's not. If that day is taken on board, then you go see, we go see how economy they grow at a much wider and faster pace. Okay? So you say, what is the financial market as we talk about? One, you get the stock market. Okay? Now they basically they'll go and they will buy and sell then shares. You get the Financial Times Stock Exchange, you get the New York Stock Exchange, you get the Dow Jones, you get the Nasdaq, you get the Nigeria Stock Exchange, you get the different one them. Now then you go and buy stocks and shares. We get a stock exchange, but it's not really working well. Okay, I think say only European Commercial Bank is floated on that stock exchange. You know, so we know from measure, so we're not getting a strong secondary market. I'll tell you what's the secondary market as we go along. Okay, another one is called mutual funds. This gives the ability to buy lots of stocks at once. Okay, we call them mutual. They all day together in a pot. And inside they go for CCA, you can look at a portfolio of stocks and you buy them. It makes it easier for somebody to invest in a portfolio of stocks than in individual stock. They will call a mutual fund. So if you're risk prone or risk averse, you go know how you gather the stocks, which of the mutual one that you buy. But then thing else, so we need for land and Sierra Leone because why? As the economy grows, we need for begin for behave like they want they within a more formal economy them where the stock exchange sound. So we need for landing concepts there in readiness for going for massive foot inside here and really begin for trade in more stocks and shares more actively. So then things now they are traded on what we call the capital markets. So you go ask, what are capital markets? What are capital markets? Okay, this is an area usai you go ideally say they are area usai savings and investments. You channel them between the suppliers of capital and the one that will need this capital. The suppliers of capital and the one that will need the capital. So now that market day, then they go trader. Alright, in capital markets, you get what we call the primary and secondary market. As I go tell you before, the primary market, that is the first trade. Okay, then where the investor they go first, they buy in stock. The secondary market, now outside the investor, they sell the stock now to other investor. Alright, and that they make the capital market become very more interesting. And they call the secondary market and primary market, they have a deep capital market. And that they help for the economies and grow. Because plus they're able for find capital in the stock market. If I'm for beginning business, I don't get money enough, or come ambulance, you know, can help me. But in the event that are able for fumble them through a stock market, fumble in quotes, I mean company investors then, the business go grow, the company go grow, at the same time, I go able for make people and get job, for make business circulate, and also for get profits, pay tax to government, and that go help for grow the economy, also pay salary to the one that they work for me. But that is the capital market. They also get the money markets. The money markets, that then you get more liquid type of transactions. Where they go, you buy something, within 1 year, it don't mature, you don't pull on the back again, or you don't roll it over. That is the liquid market. So an individual can easily go to the market and buy something like treasury bills, or you buy commercial paper, or you buy a bond. Inside the money market, it's more like shorter term, it is more liquid. Okay, so you put your money inside, you take it out again within a very, very short time, maybe less than 1 year or up to 1 year. That like treasury bills or zero coupon bonds or commercial paper, and inside this more or less liquid market. So you're able to pull and put your money there, quick one.
Are the bank no longer the potential for operates on anything there?
No. You see, in some countries, then the corporates have to issue bonds. Okay, but here so many, the central bank now more they issue the treasury bills, a government paper. Now so many, so you can buy them through you commercial bank. Okay, catch a commercial bank and say, hey, I need to get some treasury bills, invest for me. They will be now they act as a broker on behalf of a customer them for you for buy treasury bills them for the general public. That is a more liquid market.
The percentage attractive?
Yeah, it is attractive, you know, and then they can move up and down depending on the appetite of the government for borrow. Okay, of course, you know, saying that basically demand and supply phenomenon, the more the demand they for let them government body higher the rates. All right, people are able to say, okay, yes, this government want to borrow money, let's go to the rate go up. But the minute government want to borrow, the rates begin for drop. So it's mainly a demand and supply fee nominal.
Okay, Doc, somebody will go when in our host they listen, go one know the stark difference between financial markets and capital markets. I know say you don't take your time for good, but waiting actually differentiate them for making not be one.
The capital market is part of the financial market.
Or this in the inside is.
It's inside it. The capital market, you get the money market also. So the capital market is within the financial system. And at the more you go buy stocks and you shares, yes. It's the day you buy more or less bigger and longer term investments. All right, they get the money market. Also, they inside the financial system. That they go buy more liquid assets them, like the shorter term assets them. Okay, inside the money market. And then the most times they buy like your treasury bills, and within 1 year, so they're gonna get you 91 days, get you so you get the 30 days, you get 91 days, you get to 70 days, you get 360 days of treasury bills. You buy 0 coupon bonds inside it, you buy commercial paper inside it. And normally, in the money market, you get a higher interest than normal savings. And it's more convenient for short-term investors. In the capital markets, the stock markets, you go put money there for maybe longer term. And you go invest in shares and stocks with something.
Can be a year?
Well, a year or so. No, in fact, now it's so flexible. Where you go really inside for buy stocks and shares, now in the wider world, you get portals then. You have what they call IG Index. Under IG Index, you can go there, you can look for the American market. You say, I want to buy stock right now in maybe GE, General Electric, okay, or I want to buy in Ford. And you go onto IG Index, you put your card there, you register yourself, they do the know your customer background on you, they begin for trade. Okay, you buy your shares, they watch your shares now for maybe you want to buy in Argos. You want to buy in maybe Aldi. You know, I want to buy in IKEA. They're all in Europe. But you can kind of go online, get an account with this particular trading portal. You put your money, begin to look for all the particular business we want to buy. But if you understand the tickers, if you understand when it's bullish, and when you have to come in, when you have to get out of the market, it's something very risky. If you don't know how to trade well, you can lose money.
So as a nation, we did up to the task in there?
Well, it's the individuals that make up the nation. The individuals there. So if you know how to trade as an individual, like in Nigerians and past most of them can go and do trading today, you yourself be able to get online and do trading. But remember, you can lose money, you can make profits. Because it's like you go buy something, today you buy 10,000 news, tomorrow because demand there for them or something shock the economy. Mind you, the price of them stocks there, so you not always only depend on the company performance. So it depend on the economy. You see, when they get a big crisis now, you know, United States, for example, when there is war coming, or there's a statement made by a leader, or there's a policy consideration, that they make the investors afraid. They say, oh, because the government don't say that this policy they want to implement, therefore likely it will cause chaos down the line. So I'm going to sell. So get a panic attack. So once the panic attack company be for sale, the price of that particular stock they go down. Okay? And at that time you say, okay, it's no longer bullish, I need to step out. When you see the price being for call up again, you move back again and you buy. So it's something you get for the on your toes all the time. So you need a good thorough knowledge of the market. That will make you a dealer. Now you also get what we call the broker. The broker, they invest on your behalf. So if in Salon somebody say, I don't understand the market well, I don't know what to do, then you can find a broker. Somebody who you trust say, he will manage your funds for you. Okay. So normally mutual funds are managed by brokers.
You pay them?
You pay, yes, you pay. And then they will do all the trading for you. Now they put your trust in that and they. But again, there are things in their way, they're not really always can be predictable. When the shock can come. You know, I don't talk a lot about sudden shocks. Where they discuss the economic fundamentals then. A sudden shock can cause a panic attack. Okay? Like recently, you're in the news, they don't have to impeach Donald Trump. Alright? When they go on, they say the market wasn't fazed by that. But on a flip side, if that same news they can and people say this is really going to happen, or probably all within Donald Trump, then they say don't make the economy strong, if they pull on the economy go weak, people will panic, say, that policeman, let pull me money in and then shares there, let's save on a bank first. Or let go into the liquid market. So you get, we know money is fungible. You pull and so you put and so, pull and so you put and so. So when you get a big portfolio for money, you always get for the on your toes the watch. And that's why when you get a mutual fund, you get a mutual fund manager. I remember I'm telling us in the mutual fund that in they give you an opportunity for buy different shares for different companies. They buy a group of shares. They're going to watch the different index there. So if I buy mutual fund, I'm going to say this mutual fund, it is tied down to the Dow Jones index. I'm going to watch how the Dow Jones Industrial Index they move, for see how they affect me potential packaging in mutual funds. Then you also get what you can put inside where they trade. You call them a stop breaker. You know, say okay, I don't want to let me trade go below this particular level. If you can't take this level, then you tell the system kick me out. So that way, say I'm only willing to lose 10% of my investment. So if the market begins for crash below 10%, you can tell the system, say, if it goes 10% less than what I buy, pull me come on the 110, let I cut my losses. The way they begin for grow back again, you get a trigger, because then you don't enter the system, it will send you an alert. So this particular stock with me buy, don't begin go back again. You see that and you say, okay, let me buy. If you are dealing for yourself, but if you have a broker dealing for you, then the broker now in the decide, say, look, okay, I'm going to actually have this particular portfolio to look after. And I will know when I go out and come in on behalf of my customers. But a broker can deal with thousands of customers. Thousands. And that's why...
Any bank can assume that role?
If the bank assumes, you get a particular license for do that.
Okay.
You have to be licensed to give that particular type of investment advice and participate in that particular investment transaction.
Is there any risk of any what I can say, a business going bad?
Yeah. Because when you invest in stocks, you invest in businesses. Okay? And the businesses, and then the pivot upon which the stock in value they reside. If the business go bad, the stock in value said they go bad. Then you lost your money inside it.
Doctor, putting all of them things here together and say, would explain if we able to enhance within the economy, what does this actually mean for GDP?
Hey, it's massive trigger, within a positive trigger within the economy. Look, I mean, there are countries in Western countries, what they call it PASO. Most of them they live on credit. You see somebody, they drive a flashy nice car, they send you pictures of them back home. You see person in house, it's beautiful, they send pictures of them back home. Now trust her. Most likely a mortgage thing. We now also like the bill wills, small stuff from beginning to end, we bill them. We will take loans and then our office for bill them. But most overseas, na mortgage. But come and get nice telephone there. Now contract in the taker. Can they buy it? But small they pay every month. Because once you're in the system always do a credit check for you. It's quick. We want to go buy something, you say take it on credit. That credit, then they keep the economies and they go in. So in other words, if that happened in Sierra Leone, able for begin for dipping with financial markets, able for buying more stocks and shares, then they roll over, they create, they call them credit creation. It gets what they call the money multiplier effect. It goes around, it expands more. But mind is all tied onto basic underpinnings there. Now that can cause the global economic crisis. Well, what crisis happened like America the last time, they call it the subprime lending crisis. Alright? That's in it should say the economy will live upon lending. Alright? So most people go take loans them with the interest when they pay, it make let them the monthly payments, it not be affordable over time on the income when they get. So a subprime, okay, it pass how much they able to afford. So once they go to that, at some point in time, when they begin for require them for pay this money back again, for pay. Because Bokuman don't go take them kind of loan there in the same way, they all have for pay at the same time. Eventually, the insurance they will them base density and so on, they're not able for pay. When people then begin for default, the whole thing begin for collapse. So in a way, the economy is strong when it's going well. But on the whole, despite the anticlines and the synclines, or the roller coaster where the economy they go, on the whole, you expect an upward trajectory because you get more participants in the economy, you get a sound financial system, you get a developing financial system, and also you get more and more people they come on board for give money, for buy for do business, businesses and they grow, more employment they come, more people and they earn money, at the same time more tax they come to government. And what do you expect? You expect an economy to get stronger, better, and even more prosperous for next generation.
Doctor, I bring you come back to something we mentioned into earlier. We get for do with the GDP not capturing them petty traders and the woman the way they sit on Abacha streets. Then traders the way you don't know for quite a long time when they sit on front the Treshram supermarket Nakuta Road. Government so they actually try for capture them, see wait and then turn over into their business. Is it a deliberate attempt or something they not get the they're not included into the calculus for actually determine with GDP.
No, it's not unique to Sierra Leone. You know, unique to a lot of developing countries. Because when you look at the components of the GDP, you see a lot of the formal sector, the inside it's easier to measure. So the one they need maybe you get for estimate them. You get for we look at you macroeconomic framework for input their estimations for them particular type of traders and they. So when you begin for estimate, then you can plug them in and then you can see the potential impact on them. So I think that with time you begin for grapple with them more and more informal. You know, the more and more participants in the informal sector can estimate their contribution and put them in. As I said, Nigeria became the strongest economy when they decided for factor entertainment into the overall GDP calculation. Then Nigeria beat South Africa, purely on adding entertainment into it. So you get to look at the components of them particular indicators there, so and see how, should I say, how current they are, how relevant they are, how obsolete they are, and then you try to upgrade them and bring it on board more things. Then we will add value to the overall estimation of your economic growth.
So on a whole, this topic today, financial markets, come from the primary to secondary. We come to capital markets. Waiting this actually, whose kind of lesson we need to learn as a nation for ensure so we enhance some of the economic concepts?
Well, I have to look at the framework for financial development. If you pull up that particular screen there, we will see the reason why we go gain from this. If you understand the framework for financial development, okay. Again, as I say, sometimes the financial market thinking arise from necessity. You see, the necessity is the mother of invention. When you get a need for financial intermediation, get a need for credit creation, then the participants then within the sector will begin to do things then. We will lead you towards deepening the financial sector itself. So let us see the framework for financial development. One, what does it do? The functions then, first of all, is it manage risk. Okay? The financial markets, within the financial development, one is they manage risks. They manage risk by providing insurance and diversifying opportunities. In other words, if me get me money, I go for investment in the stock market, and I get more opportunities then, we are able to use the money for make profit from than if the market not exists at all. The other one are transferring resources. Okay, so you're able to transfer a resource from this particular investment where they do to another investment over time, and that will allow you for save money and also for make profits. Pooling resources. That means they bring different people in the mutual fund, so bring different people and come together. We go for get a bigger pot for invest. The one we're looking at price discovery, because the financial market able for make you know what is the actual price of the stock we want to buy, because you look at the demand and supply fundamentals. Then you get the clearing and settlement payments. Okay, this year so you're able for CCA, they help you for organized transactions amongst the markets and the participants in the market. Because through the financial markets, we therefore deepen financial development, we're able for buy and sell, we're able for settle payments, we're able for transfer money or resources from point A or investment A to investment B, we for pull resources together, and all the things they make for let the economy become stronger, better, more resilient, and also better controlled. But remember, in all of this, you get participants then, people where they actually take part for make sure say this TSO work. It became spontaneous, then the regulators come in, because why the transactions they become bigger and bigger and bigger. If one person run away with all this money so then the whole system will crash. That's when the regulators come in. So that's why we need a framework. Okay, we don't see the different functions and we see the different ways how the NTS they operate, but we look at the functions them and see how best we can able to see who or Uda then they inside this particular system here. So Uda they make it work and how it will able to help overall GDP growth in time to come. Well, you have participants in this framework. Okay, you get the lender. Okay, in the financial market, that are the possible way one for Lego able for get money. Okay, so you lend to, you borrow from. So you get money, you get that person there. You get the borrower. In one for see whether they get money for let do business. You want for see whether they get money for let in business grow. So you get the lender, you get the borrower. Then you get the regulator. After some time, the regulator say for come and say, okay, me I dey watch what they happen now. I get to make laws and rules and guidelines
For the lender and the borrower.
For the lender and the borrower, yes. Then you get now the liquidity provider. How now this money also they multiply here? How will they create this money also for it stretch? Okay, so these are the key participants within inside the financial market framework.
The liquidity provider, not to the borrower, not to the lender at all.
No, you go see say now the dealers and the brokers, but we will get there. Okay. And in a way it can be anybody, but you will get your role where you go play. A borrower, a lender can be a liquidity provider, but mainly people when they call it dealers or broker. Remember, because a dealer, the way they trade for yourself, and the broker, the way they trade on behalf of somebody. This can become the liquidity providers. It's really getting interesting. And also the way they watch it, they enjoy the program because they see say everything around we is systematic. Even though it look like saying that chaos sometimes, somebody pay your own, but in the background, you get the one day where they monitor all that in here. So, and then at the Ministry of Finance, then at the Statistics Office, then at Bank of Australia, and then at think tanks, so then at university, then at the banks, get researchers will look at all that in here, so but give them a rationale and a sense. But underneath all this, and then people there so they look at these key participants. Let's see exactly what the participants tend to do. Let's try to explain this framework a bit more so that people are able to understand. Okay? So you see, in the financial framework, people when they get for enter into contracts. You see, we person want lend you money. We person want lend money from you. You get all story where they tell you. All story. Immediately you get 10 for pay, na plaba don't commodity. Na plaba don't commodity. And here they harass me so. If you say for that money normally, if you say I can't pay you, but we go for take an hand, it a big your kind way. That's why you get forget regulators. You get forget guidelines for that kind of thing. But then one way to go lend money safe. They all are part of the financial ecosystem. You know, I pay interest, I'm going to go back. So you go to brother, let me know. Just give me no more. Just 500,000. The mother they give you, and mother they give balance you. When I meet up at type now, club one commodity. So all these are participants. So participants and they forge into contracts. And then contracts here they have to be regulated. That is really the framework itself. The market development depends on the action of the participants then and the regulators then. Because Sierra Leone, the financial system not as deep as developed. So you can normally look at other countries then, but me they do that in anticipation that Sierra Leone is going to get there. I believe Sierra Leone is going to get there. With a bit more effort and more confidence in the system, we will get there. And I make we begin for build the platform now. So we're ready for good day, till they follow then good day. And that is why I do this lecture now. So that the one day when they listen, they'll say tomorrow I get for be participants in the financial system. And as a participant, if you understand the framework under which you they operate. So one other area where I say for let you regulate this thing now through where people they want for raise money. And the one way for raise money is crowdfunding, that I've been telling you. And this ideally, that way somebody they decide say, I need money, but I don't want to go to the bank, I don't want to go big person. So they tell them say, look here, I have this cause. This is not the cancer research. People them, they may get an epidemic of cancer over yonder, want raise money for them. Okay, so you begin for the crowdfunding. The other one equity crowdfunding also now where they decide say, I raise money for investment. I have a brilliant idea. So I raise money for investment. You know, they get a program when they can show na UK. It's called Dragon's Den. There you get them billionaires there. There's over so. They put the car with the ideas, like where I put on this picture, project ideas. If they can pitch the idea to the millionaires then. The millionaires they listen to the idea, they ask critical questions. And then decide say, okay, because I believe in your business, I will able to give money, but I want 30% in your business. I want 60% in your business. That's how you raise the equity there. On this one that you do through crowdfunding. You say, okay, I want this business now, so people then put money, that you put money, get percentage of the business. Forget a good accountant, you get good laws with the government, then the way they put money one for see how your money they grow, and you can raise money through that particular crowdfunding day. You see, in history, one particular movie they were making in Brazil, it became a global phenomenon. They don't get money from Mika. So they raise funds through crowdfunding for them to make that particular movie day. And it became one of the biggest things there now, South America. Like Kenya, they get a scheme when they call Harambe. That means say, let's get together. Let's can do crowdfunding through that particular thing.
Harambe stars.
Yes. So you see, simple a framework also for crowdfunding. You get first of all the need under the origins. Then they get the providers then. We're able for getting money. Then you get the regulators who they come in and say, okay, I mean, let's make some acts. Let's have something to go guide the process. Then finally you get the financial regulatory boards that will come in with the laws then. okay, or with the guidelines then. Because why? Once money involved, people then can misuse them, people then can abuse them, and overall it will affect the economy. So you get steps in that. If you look around the world, you see a lot of money has come into crowdfunding, particularly in North America, okay, and Asia. But like we see in Africa, we don't get much evidence of crowdfunding yet. But I see a few social media appeals them where the crowdfunding phenomenon inside Sierra Leone. So it happens now in Sierra Leone quite a lot. I don't begin saying, but the size of and the volume of them, it will still be swamped by that what happened in North America. But it is happening in our country now. So you see, equity crowdfunding is also growing, but it's 8% of total crowdfunding worldwide. So it grows small equity crowdfunding. So that means if you do crowdfunding, for they able to get you own business. So as I said before, let's look at the participants now inside the particular financial market. The lender, the borrower, the regulator, and the liquidity provider. Who are they and what do they do? Now, on our way they watch, but I would likely be one of them for their soul. So no say inside the system, you play a role, a significant role, because you may be a lender, a borrower, or you may be a regulator, or you may be a liquidity provider. Let's see who they are. Okay? Now, who is the lender and who is the borrower? The relationship between the lender and the borrower. Alright? The borrower, he wants to finance a project. He get the option for borrow internally or externally. But he get your own wish list for say, where they go lend money, I don't want for pay beaucoup money for lend this money. I don't want for pay beaucoup interest. Okay? I don't want for let again for pay money fast. I don't want for let it be for say, I'll tell you watch me while lend this money and so. Our money will go take for let pay am. And I don't want for bring collateral. But the lender now, we want to get this money. Instead get your own wish. If the wish say, I want to get high interest rate. I want to get money where I leave you. I want to get money back where I give you. I want for them pay me quick this money also. I want for control what you do with the money. For say you don't go waste the money. I want to pay me quick, a short maturity. And also, I want for them give me collateral. Liquid collateral I go for sell quickly if it happen for say you want for lost me money. So you get the borrower and the lender, then two get different views them. The one, you want for people interest. The other one, you want to get beaucoup money where they lend you. So then two things there also, where you come together, you look for what you call the market for information, for see how the lender and the borrower then go meet up. So one go able for give the other the money, the other one go able for lender. But then in this process of the financial intermediation, of the financial market, life of the financial market circularity, you get sometimes small issues that can arise, some obstacles that can arise. One of the obstacles them is that you not can get enough people them will really ready for lend money out to people them. Okay? Lack of sufficient borrowers. So you see the man who want money, they looking around, who that go lend me? Now you make where you get the stock market. You for go find equity there. In other words, that particular platform they help for bring buyers and sellers then together. Alright? So that they help for something like Salonso will help we figure that kind of platform there. The other one can be sometimes the negotiation process. The buyer and the seller, the terms can be difficult. I will know they agree on terms. That's why can delay for letting market participants them come together as one. Another one I what we call asymmetric information. The information where the borrower gets, the information where the seller gets, the buyer gets, they're different. Okay? So when you get different information about the transaction, because it is asymmetrical, you find out say no, not ever see one to one. Now look on different frequencies. Then it also can be an obstacle to actual bringing buyer and seller together. The other one, I'm not understanding the laws then, or the laws that can prohibit particular type of transaction. So the rule of law can also be an obstacle to contracting. So in this case, you also realize another area where we can find the critical problem that the monitoring. Okay, when it is difficult to monitor, then it's costly also. So because meanwhile they give me money out, I don't know how they get for spend them, I'm afraid for get out. And I ask for too high collateral, people are not ready for come. So in other words, what do I do when this happens? So we need to forget good governance, we need to forget transparency, we need to forget the laws then, where they enforce, where they be modern and current, and at the same time, we're able to understand, say, the regulator itself will come in for help for bring the buyer and seller together, or the lender and borrower together. You see, in Sierra Leone, we get a lot of informal sector activity when it comes to finance. We get the Osusu, we get the inside communities then,
Cooperatives.
we get cooperatives then, And honestly, there, so if we're able to register them, we will see say a large volume of transaction will happen outside there. So the next man we're going to bring in for this particular discussion is the regulator. We're working to regulate the financial system. And the third main participant in the financial market development framework, the regulator. And then tax with the enforcement of rules and regulations. They can pack you fine, they can lock your doors, they can suspend your license, whatever they can do. Okay, for make sure say you behave according to. What's the regulator in your wish list? What do you want for saying inside the economy? You want for say the financial system is stable. You want like stable. You want for say it is deepened and developed. And you also want for say it avoid having a financial crisis. So it's centralized to support the financial development in the economy. That is a regulator. Very, very important role.
You're not biased against anyone.
Should not be biased against anyone. Make sure that everything is going on pretty well. And it also get for ensure say you actually embed the regulation inside the environment for enable a smooth, sane, and also what we call predictable growth in the financial sector. Because once the policy unpredictable, or people let's say the actual process unpredictable, then one will say, well, I'm pulling out of this economy. I cannot trust it. So that's what the regulator comes in for make sure say he can stabilize this. Before regulators then become so strong, you get what we call SROs, self-regulating organizations then. They may in the UK, then they in the US. So they are now defunct. But the thing about this, then we get small problem then. Okay? They don't get full disclosure. They don't be for money to enforce themselves properly. They don't be for manage conflict of interest. But at the same time, they were trying to help to regulate the system itself. So what's then the responsibility of the regulator? You have like, what I put 5 responsibilities then. Okay? But ideally, the regulator can be independent and accountable. They forget adequate powers. You're also able to adopt clear and consistent process system where the participants then go, no, the staff of the regulator for observe the highest professional standards, not for biased. Okay? Including appropriate standards of confidentiality. Okay? So that's the regulator. The last one now, on the framework of the participants then, are the liquidity provider. The last one, liquidity provider. I so love these guys because, I mean, it's nice to know how to trade. Who is the liquidity provider? Okay? It can be basically the borrowers and the lenders. They provide liquidity. You asked last time, who are they?
Yeah.
The borrowers and the lenders. It should be provided by those who are free from constraints. Okay? So the lender can become anybody who is able for trade. If for make sure say he able for deal properly. Now the borrower and the lender, you get decided where they can trade, but at the same time maybe they're not going to understand the market well. So if I want to be a liquidity provider now, if myself able for borrow, if I'm able for lend, but able to understand the market, then I'm going to become a dealer. I trade for myself. So when I want for borrow from somebody, I go trade. Instead of I go Fed, I go in the market and I trade. You see, normally they use them computer portals for trade. I mentioned IG Index is one key one that is very, 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 very popular all over the world. And that's why they go on IG and they trade a lot there. You defend your money, your stocks, and everything from there. And if you put where you don't float you don't do initial public offering, then now you call it IPO, then you now get your business floated. Anybody can buy and sell stocks and shares from them. So who is the dealer? As I told you before, the dealer that the person with the trade on your own, the broker the person with the trade on behalf of others. On the other hand, the broker is one who buy and sell securities for the client. The dealer is the person who buy and sell security on his own account. So you get this broker and the dealer inside there. But what do they need for know how to trade? So whether you're an ordinary citizen, whether you're a borrower, whether you're a lender, whatever you be, you need for able to get sufficient counterparties for your transaction. For able to get low transaction costs, you forget good knowledge about the market. Good knowledge about the market is very, 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 very important. And you for also able to know when you for enter and when you for exit the market. So you see, liquidity providers will take what we call a short or long position in the primary or in the secondary market. Okay, remember I said the secondary market, also investor they sell to investor. The primary market, that's like company they sell to investor. But the dealer and the broker, they operate in the primary market and also in the secondary market. But what do you need to do? is you need to understand that there is an opportunity to raise funds inside the stock market.
Doctor, time now locate you in the studio. Quickly, what is this lesson? What you able to learn as a result of this discussion today?
Well, what you really learn is this: one, we get the financial system around us. It is around us, whether or not we are aware of that. Two, the system get a framework. Three, the system get participants. We all are participants inside the financial system. Consciously or unconsciously, we are playing a role with the financial system. We're able to foresee also waiting at the main key functions of the financial markets. And last but not least, we see the role where every participant they play inside the financial market. So early on, we prepare ourselves for go bigger, for go better. And there's other things we need to know at this stage. We begin and the younger one them. I need for understanding in there. So when they come to begin for evolve further and go deeper in financial transactions, them the young generation for able for do them. But that means in school you get for learn properly, for learn for spy, and begin for read, and now for do calculations and then think, and this country get for be a better place to get from by.
I'm sure the president don't make any mistake where he anchor the development growth trajectory of a government on the capital, on the human capital.
But that's a fantastic move. Fantastic move. Very, very pivotal for this economy in better one by.
On this note, I want to tell you thank you, Dr. Walton Ekunda Gilpin, for your selfless effort for ensuring you provide an insightful delivery into some of these macro and micro. I know so you like their words and the macro and micro concepts unravel, a lot of interpretation ways around, because in the views of many people, they say it's difficult. Someone, even when they follow the discussion, they can find it extremely difficult. But you do everything in your bit for ensuring even the layman understand the things the way we explain. We look forward for get you back next week and perhaps see what will come now the Economic Forum. If you miss this segment, I'll show you tomorrow at exactly 12 to 1. You'll get a repeat of this particular program. And I want to tell you thank you, Dr. Ekunda Walton Gilpin, me who do the program. My name is Abdul Rahman Kama. Have a very wonderful day. Once more, I say Happy New Year to all reviewers. Thank you so very much.